why am I going back to nursing school? This was honestly something I've kind of always wanted to do. I have worked now in public health for almost 3 years, for actually almost 4 years, wow. And in all honesty, I like it, but I like working with people. And I, worked with, kind of customer service jobs most of high school and into college, and I missed working directly with people. Now I know that there are public health positions that allow me to do this, but as I got thinking last summer about kind of the state of the world and the state of public health jobs, it just was looking a little bleak. And so I did some research. My mom works in the Office of Professions, so she was able to kind of help me do some of this research and find out a lot about what I need to do to become a public health nurse. And basically, she was saying, like, if I want to do that, I need to get a BSN. And then I started looking, okay, if I don't like public health nursing, what do RN positions look like in my area without having to go down to Albany? Because I think that was the hard part about public health positions, is there's a bunch of jobs, but a lot of them are in Albany. And if we are looking at having kids and, like, having a life outside of traveling to and from work, it's important that I find something that's maybe a little bit closer to home. And it was just one of those things that I was like, you know what? I'm going to try. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But that's kind of why. Like, I know that's not exactly an answer, but it's more of job perspectives, job opportunities, and the clientele that I can work with. And I can work more in the women's health field of educating and helping, not just educating and sometimes it going in one ear and out the other. So that's kind of the why I started. I have to leave for work in like 15 minutes, probably a little less than that. But when looking at nursing programs last August and applying for them, there was really two main ones that I was interested in. And there's a bunch in the area as well. But there was UAlbany, where I did my master's, and there was Hudson Valley Community College. There also is Adirondack Community College, or SUNY Adirondack, whatever you want to call it now. And SUNY Adirondack has a 4-year BSN program. That's great. It's not far from work, versus HVCC was a 1-year advanced program, and they also have a 2-year RN program. And so I applied for both. The advanced program, I needed to have anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, and then microbiology, and I had been taking them through Straighter Line, which they accept. And basically, I guess I just didn't understand, or she didn't clearly iterate to me that I needed to submit confirmation of taking these courses. They weren't due until the start of classes, but I needed to say, like, hey, just so you know, I'm taking them, and I didn't. Again, not sure if it was my misunderstanding or her miscommunication. Either way, didn't get into that program. And looking back, honestly, I think that's a great choice, because going 1 year in a full year advanced program where you're in a classroom for almost 8 hours a day, like, that's your job, you're not getting paid, you're not able to really work another job, would have been a lot for a year, especially with us planning our wedding. So hindsight's 2020, but I definitely was kind of disappointed when I didn't get into that program. I did get into their 2-year RN program. So then the last one, UAlbany, which is SUNY Albany, depending on who you are, they have a BSN degree, which is a 1-2-1 program. So basically 1 year prerequisites, 2 years of clinicals, and 1 year of like electives and or higher level courses. So I ended up choosing this program, one, because I knew a few of the professors that kind of overlap with the public health department. Well, I guess they don't really overlap with the public health department because the professors that I had were graduate professors. But I liked how UAlbany worked. I knew everything there was to know about Bridesmaids and their website and how to use all the stuff that they use for everything. So it kind of just a clear choice, and with all of my prerequisites for other courses, I really can get this done in about 3 years. So while it's going to be 3 long years, I'll be done by December of 28. So technically it's 5 semesters. Fingers crossed I can get it done faster, but I definitely am at least in it for 5 semesters, potentially a 6th, but. All right. So basically how the next couple of years are going to go with nursing school is basically my first semester is mostly prerequisites. Second, third, fourth, and fifth semester are basically all clinicals and higher elective classes. That's what it's looking like. I am going to be working part-time the entire time that I'm in nursing school, so it'll be interesting. But that's what next couple of years looks like. I don't obviously know when each class is. This upcoming one I'm taking like Intro to Nursing, Intro to Caring, A&P 1, and Pharmacology. Next semester it'll be like A&P 2, Microbiome, and then Clinical 1. So lots of classes to be taken, obviously, when you're starting a new program. But I am really looking forward to it. I feel like I've said that a million times in this video. And I've kind of gotten some stuff done. So I'm going to insert all of those clips. And if there's anything that I've missed, you'll see me in a little bit. Hi, hello. It is July 5th. Just a little check-in for the nursing vlog. I just grabbed, Jonathan and I just grabbed this countertop here behind me from the camp, Jonathan's parents' camp, and it's gonna be the best desk in the Go Mini. I'm so excited. I basically proposed this idea of when he built his workbench, for the workbench to also kind of double as a study desk for me for school. And he was like, yeah, of course, like we can make that happen. We can bring over my desktop, we can do this, we can do that. And I was like, perfect. So very excited to have a place to study because I was definitely worrying about that. But hopefully we're gonna get that up soon, and then I can kind of start putting my nursing school stuff out there that I've collected so far. It's not a lot, but just like a few things. So yeah, just a little update on the nursing school front. But I still don't start school for another almost 2 months, honestly. So about a month and a half, but looking forward to it. And I'll check in with y'all later. Also, a quick update on the desk that Jonathan's building me. He's starting it right now. You're building me a desk?
What's up?
Oh, you can leave them on, that's okay. I'm just explaining that you're building the desk.
I am building a desk.
And so we got a piano hinge, and it's gonna go like right here. So.
Might be more than just that piano hinge, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it turns out. It'll turn out good.
Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge. All right. Good morning. Happy Friday. So coming back to nursing school and kind of some things that I've been doing over the past, I want to say like probably 4 months. I probably started quote unquote prepping for school since about May, when I kind of made the decision to 100% go to UAlbany's program. And in addition to like Connections Day, building the desk, all the stuff that y'all just saw, I also have kind of created a little study list of things that I wanted to revisit and or like start learning kind of ahead of time to give myself a little bit of a step up. So there are 4 things that I kind of looked at and more into. So I tried to learn a little bit more medical terminology, including abbreviations, and I'm still looking at those and studying those, but it's just nice to see some of like the roots and the suffixes and all of those things to help decipher medical terminology better. I've also been looking at like the metric system and conversions, because you do a lot of conversions in nursing school from American to metric, or I don't even know if it's actually called American. I don't know what it's called, imperial, but anyways, between those, and then I also was looking at some basic dosage math just to get an idea of what the formulas are, try to remember those, because those are something that we don't always have access to the formulas, so just kind of memorizing them. And then also just looking at kind of basics of nursing, so like fluid and electrolytes, basic medications, and then, or like categories of medications, and then some common vitals and lab values. I won't need a lot of this stuff until probably next semester, but it's nice to just know the basics so that if I hear something, I can be like, oh yeah, I remember that. So those are like the 4 categories I've kind of studied. In addition to, one thing I always recommend, and my mom taught me this, so did my aunt, more than my mom, but when you start school and your professors give you your syllabus, look at the learning objectives, or like the learning target outcomes, or the domains of the class, depending on where you are. But usually there's between, I don't know, I've seen anywhere from 4 to like 10, depending on how broad the course is. And look at them and actually read them and understand, okay, because what that's telling you is what your professor wants you to get out of this class, or what you're supposed to be getting out of this class. So I don't have the domains in front of me, but let's say for pharmacology, one of the learning objectives is to link common medications and common diseases, or common medications and like common uses. Perfect. Okay, that's your goal when you're studying your medications, is to link them to common uses. You know, okay, so Tylenol. Oh, fever reducer, pain reliever, so on and so forth. That's a very simple choice, but you use your domains and other things. So I, in addition to looking at the ones whenever I get my syllabus, I also looked at the ones that the school gave for their domains, which is for the whole nursing program. And this is to kind of see, okay, throughout my courses, this is what I'm supposed to be obtaining from my courses. This is what I'm supposed to be understanding and kind of doing in my brain and / like with my hands once clinical comes. So I looked at those. I did also do a little bit of a school supply haul. Most of the stuff's going to be here on Friday or Saturday. Oh, today is Friday. So most of the stuff's going to be here today or tomorrow. So I'll do a little haul. I didn't get too much, to be honest. Just some basics that I don't have at the house right now. And then lastly, that you guys kind of saw, you already have seen, is cleaning up the Go Mini and like building the desk. One of my goals the weekend in between Hawaii and Europe is to really try and clean up the tiny house, give a really good deep clean, clean up the Go Mini, so that when I come back on, well, I guess the end of August, when I come back in the end of August and I start school that Monday, because I also work that weekend, that I'm not like stressing about how clean the apartment is, the tiny house is, and all that stuff. So, but yeah, those are some of the other things that I've done. And yeah, I've got some other kind of fun life updates that y'all will see in the next coming days.
Hello.
Happy Friday. I think I checked in this morning about nursing school stuff, but some other life updates. I actually have a colonoscopy on Monday. Woo. So I start prep tomorrow night. I am gonna have probably a glass of wine or two tonight. And then tomorrow we're going to head back down home. We're going up to camp tonight. But tomorrow we're going to head back home so that I can start my colonoscopy prep and be at home, sleep on the couch probably, just in case. I've never taken Miralax before, so good times. I'm going to have Jonathan record a little bit when I get out of my colonoscopy. But yeah, I'm excited. Well, I'm not excited for it, but we're going to have a good chill weekend. What you doing? And then, yeah, Sunday we'll be back here. Apparently, Jonathan's baby cousin has a birthday party, but I will not be going to that because that's on Sunday and I will be deceased. She's talked about it.
Bring her kayak. Oh, look at the camera on the car. You gotta tell.
Little mall date night or afternoon. It's like noon. We got Chinese food. Quick little interruption of the nursing school life updates vlog. I went out to the garden earlier and was harvesting a bunch of stuff, and I have been making pickles with all my cucumbers. So I have 3 of these containers ready to make pickles. I have 2 already in the fridge. And I also have my first few tomatoes. I saw the red peeking through. So these are these are cherry tomatoes. They're kind of big, but I'm really excited. I cannot eat these until Tuesday. Well, I can probably eat them Monday, but I'm also getting a colonoscopy on Monday. So I will be starting that prep tomorrow. It's currently Saturday, the 1st of August. So my colonoscopy is tomorrow. So I can't have any seeds or any fruits or vegetables until after my appointment at this point. Yeah. But I also am harvesting this is parsley, and I have basil down here as well, that I'm going to be freezing. And basically I have it on a paper towel right now, washed. And I'm basically just going to freeze it all and then use it later in all of my other canning. So I like using parsley and basil in my soup. More basil than anything else, but I do like parsley in it. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is the parsley, right? Because I had cilantro out there, but this is totally parsley. So some of this will be going in the soup as well, and then most of the basil will. I do have more basil and more parsley out there. My parsley really took off this year, so. But I'm just plucking the leaves off. I'll throw them in the freezer. Got my pickle brine going. I also have some peppers. So I picked 2 jalapenos, and then these are Cajun bell peppers. They're supposed to be a little bit spicier than bell peppers themselves, but not like jalapeno spicy. In addition, I also have my shishito pepper plant is like insane, and so I did pick a bunch, but like I said, I can't eat these, so these will be something that we'll probably have for dinner this coming week. But I'm so excited. You basically cook these in a pan. You just wash them and cook them in a pan with soy sauce, sesame oil, a little bit of mirin or rice wine vinegar, and then you just let them get kind of black on the side. So I have them in a bag just to keep them together, but I'm not closing the bag so there's no moisture to kind of collect mold. So yeah, that's kind of what has been going on. We did some errands this morning. We were up at camp last night, but we had stuff to get done today. I thought I had to start my colonoscopy prep today, but I don't start it technically till tomorrow night. So, okay, so for colonoscopy prep, basically starting tomorrow morning when I first wake up, I cannot have any more solid foods. So it is a clear liquid diet. That does include Jell-O. So I did get a box of Jell-O that I'm gonna make in this little container and just stick in the fridge. I also have 2 containers of bone broth. I have plenty of teas, and I also purchased some ginger ale and some Gatorades that I can use to drink down the Miralax. You basically have to drink like 8 ounces every 15 to 30 minutes for 6 hours basically, and then or till you finish 1 bottle. One sec. Woo! Smells like pickles in here. So I can have black coffee, I can have tea, I can have plenty of water. I'm gonna be grumpy tomorrow, in all honesty. I'm somebody who needs food. So I am gonna make a packet of Jell-O. I feel like I have another one down here. It might be actually, I have gelatin, but no Jell-O. So I do have beef broth if I get sick of that. But we'll see. I'm gonna make my Jell-O, finish my pickles, and then I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the evening. Alright, it is 5 o'clock on Sunday. I'm actually surprisingly doing okay. I did finish the bone broth for lunch. I finished the second big thing of Kettle and Fire. So I have this left and then the bouillon paste. So I've got this cup that I'm gonna drink now. Truthfully, if you are someone who, when you're hungry, you get nauseous, I really recommend, if you like chicken broth or beef broth or vegetable broth, drink it. Drink it at like your meal times and like have a little cup in between. Bone broth has also worked really nicely. So, and then I've been having some ginger ale like in between. Truly though, chicken broth has been saving me. So I think I'd be so much hungrier. Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm doing okay. I'm not able to drink. I'm in that 3-hour point, so I'm not able to drink or like have anything for the next 3 hours. So it's gonna be interesting, but we're heading out. Post colonoscopy, Mexican food. Oh yeah.
Perfect picture right here.
Chimichanga, short rib, queso fundido, and Jonathan's in the
Now
sunlight.
it's glowing.
Back from the surgery, or the procedure. Went well, no polyps or anything. Just had some Mexican food for lunch, and I'm gonna go home, take a big nap. Alright, as promised, I'm going to do a very, very small school supply haul of the things that I have. Basically, I bought one more notebook, and I do have 2. I've already kind of used this one like quite a bit towards the back of the book, but this one will still be good. And then I have another green one that I've used like a couple pages in, but not too bad. I'm not usually a green person, so it's interesting that I have 2 green notebooks. I thought I ordered a purple one, but I guess I didn't. I also don't have any highlighters, so I did just buy like a pack of the flat ones. I like they're square actually, but got these. And then I did buy, these are big index cards, but I did that on purpose so that I can like use these for like pharmacology or A&P, and on the back like print out a little picture or something, or even draw it, and then kind of like label it, but have like enough room that I can do picture like this way or this way. So they're 4x6 index cards, so they're a little bit bigger than I think normal index cards. And then I also love mechanical pencils, so I did buy a pack of these. I actually already have a bunch of pens, which these are my favorite pens, so if you can tell, I've like used it a lot. But I also have a bunch of these ones by Papermate, and these ones by Sharpie, so they're my favorite pens. I also have my planner. So this is, don't mind the front thing, I'm in a financial like class right now, but this is kind of like my wedding slash my school planner, and I really like it because when you open up to like a full week, there's all of this space to write in. So I can write like school stuff, but I can also write like wedding stuff too, which I already have in this book. I've been writing stuff down for the wedding. And then last but not least, I've also just been printing off some like very basic things. Like I said, I've been studying certain things, so I just printed off like a basic fluid and electrolytes. This is the burps list, so this is like medical terminology, and I'll print off all of the notes that I've been taking on my Google Doc, of all the stuff that I was telling you all I studied. So that is the school haul. Like I said, not a whole lot of stuff. I really don't know what else I'm going to need, so I'm kind of waiting till stuff comes out. I'm hoping, I have an email drafted up to 2 professors so far. I'm hoping that I'll find out who my other 2 professors are either this week or next week, hopefully before I leave for Europe, because I'd like to be considerate and give my professors at least 2 weeks notice, but it's also hard if I don't know who they are up until a week before class. But yeah, that's what I've got. I think that kind of wraps up this video as of right now. It's currently Tuesday the 4th, so basically, yeah, I'll be packing for Hawaii this weekend. I leave on Sunday morning super early, and then I come back Friday morning. So not quite a full week, but it'll be a fun time. Alexis doesn't know I'm coming. I don't think she'll watch this, so, but I think there's something else I was gonna say. Yeah. So funny enough, with the traveling, with me going to Hawaii this upcoming week. So I think that's kind of where this nursing school intro is going to end. I will say I am going somewhere this upcoming week. I'm not going to disclose locations just in case the person I'm going to see watches this. But I leave Sunday morning and I come back Friday morning, so just a short like couple day trip. And then we actually leave on our Europe trip Monday the 17th. We're heading to Boston on the 16th, so I get back on the 14th and I literally leave less than a day later. So I'm gonna have a lot of packing to do this Saturday. I have literally no plans, and I plan to keep it that way. The only thing I might do is go to the mall to try on some of the wedding dresses at one of the shops that's there, but that'll also depend on what my mom has planned for this weekend, so we'll see.
Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.